Racetrack Ranch in Glendale, Arizona, Sportsnet LA presents the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. It is an absolutely perfect day for baseball. Hi again, everybody. Charlie Steiner and Rick Monday. Two stories today we'll be following closely. One, the return of Hyun-Jin Ryu, and two, the return of Trayce Thompson.
Let's talk about Hyun-Jin Ryu first of all. Two disappointing seasons, obviously, with the shoulder and then the elbow surgery. Slated to go 2 innings today. Not really about results, but trying to get back into the timing. And speaking of the timing for Trayce Thompson, after that back injury last year, it proved to be a little bit more difficult for him to come back than what they were hoping for. He's going to play either 4 or 5 innings or 2 or 3 at bats. They want him to not only play the offense, but the defense as well.
Ryu, of course, coming off the shoulder surgery and the balky elbows, made 1 start over the last 2 years. We're going to take a break, come back with the lineups and first pitch, the Dodgers and the Angels. We are in the Valley of the Sun, and we're getting ready to play. Degrees, a cloudless blue sky, just a gentle breeze blowing out on this perfect Saturday afternoon. Dodgers and Angels getting ready to play the first of 5 exhibition games against one another. The Angels coming off a disappointing year last season, 74 up, 88 down. Here's their lineup, beginning with the veteran Eric Young Jr. and Ben Revere having an outstanding spring. Danny Espinosa, the former Washington National. Jeffrey Marte at first base. C.J. Cron's going to get 4 at-bats as the DH. Martin Maldonado behind the plate. Shane Robinson, the one-time Cardinal and right. Caleb Cowart is at third base, and Nolan Fontana will be facing Hyun-Jin Ryu. So Ryu, who's going to turn 29 years of age in a couple of weeks, had 2 sensational seasons with the Dodgers, winning 28. But in the last 2 years, he's made a total of 1 start. And here's his first pitch. It's a call strike, 0-1. Eric Young Jr. certainly bounced around in his career. He's 2 for 19 this spring. But all eyes from the Dodger point of view on the big lefty Hyun-Jin Ryu. And a ground ball right to the shortstop. Chris Taylor picks it up and throws him out.
For Ryu, 2 innings is what he is slated for today. Tell you what, this does not have the feeling of a spring training game. The very first pitch, called strike on Eric Young Jr. and home plate umpire Ramon De Jesus got an earful from the Angels first base dugout.
Ben Revere stepping in, but Ryu, again, he won 28 games in his first 2 seasons with the Dodgers and has made a total of 1 start in the last 2. So they're hoping that he comes back off the shoulder surgery, had an elbow issue, and he delivers a strike to Revere, who's 10 for 19 this spring, and it's 0-1.
Well, he's had some camp games. He's thrown simulated games. The whole thing is about the command of the strike zone right now, and you figure he's going to try to knock some rust off.
Big breaking ball for a strike.
Hello. That's a great message that he sends to himself, if nothing else. I mean, here's a guy, there's nothing tentative about this curveball. I mean, that's nose to toes.
Now it's 0-2 to Ben Revere with Danny Espinosa on deck. After the big breaking ball, fouled off to the left and out of play.
And came back with another one.
Ryu, they don't expect to break 90 miles an hour, but he's going to be a off-speed, touchy-feely kind of pitcher. And again, 5 pitches in, he must be pleased. And there's a hard darter down and away. It's 1-2.
Well, the Dodgers know a lot about Ryu. They were very aware of Hyun-Jin Ryu when he was in high school in South Korea. Followed him all throughout his pro career in Korea. The first professional to go from Korea directly to Major League Baseball.
On 1-2, Revere awaits. Here's the pitch. Just outside.
Just missed, but by the narrowest of margins. So he's got a good idea and not really having to move behind the plate. Austin Barnes doing the catching.
As Monty Grandal was behind the plate last night. Ryu on 2-2. Got him.
Well, I just wonder with Hyun-Jin Ryu, he's very cognizant of the fact, look, it's been a long time since I've been able to pitch, but already here in the first inning, he's established, look, he's going to go around the strike zone. Didn't miss by much when he did miss. The curveball has been right there. This has been a sensational. Yes, granted, just 2 batters. But welcome back, Hyun-Jin Ryu. Now the question is, building up the stamina. But if he gets the green light, Charlie, they're going to be able to increase the number of innings that he has here in Arizona.
2 hitters, 8 pitches, a ground out and a strikeout. And here's Danny Espinosa. Espinosa, of course, was with the Nationals last year. And at one point in the playoffs, the local media was all over Dusty Baker. You're going to get Espinosa out of the lineup because he hit but 209. And wasn't exactly a ringing endorsement from Dusty Baker. He said, who else would you have be put out there? Here's the 0-1. And so after a 209 season in Washington, Espinosa looking to turn things around in Anaheim. A ball and a strike. So Hyun-Jin Ryu now 10 pitches in. You know, in preseason discussion about the Dodgers, what about the rotation and who's going to be the 4 and the 5? As Espinosa swings and misses 1-2. Ryu's name never comes up.
Well, there's still some question marks when you miss a couple of years and you say, hey, wait a minute, you're going to have to prove to us that you're healthy. He said all along he's healthy. Here's the other thing about Ryu. He's not going from, really the windup. He starts almost in a set position.
And he strikes out 2 of the first 3 batters he faces and needs only a dozen pitches to retire the Angels in order. Utley, Peterson, and Grandal will lead off for the Dodgers when we come back for the bottom of the first.
Do you know a high school?
Season 3 weeks from Monday. This is their 15th spring training game, and here is the lineup that Dave Roberts has put together, beginning with the ageless wonder Chase Utley. Jock Peterson's hitting second today. Yasmani Grandal, Trace Thompson, and Cody Bellinger. Darnell Sweeney at third base. Sweeney off to a good start this spring. Barnes behind the plate. Tyler Holt 8 for 16 this spring. Chris Taylor at shortstop is batting ninth. So the Dodgers have a comeback issue in Hyun-Jin Ryu. So too Garrett Richards, who's pitching with a elbow issue, who could have gone the Tommy John route, but instead is going with the platelet injections, and we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, the stem cell treatment, there's a lot to be said for it. He tried to rehab last year for about 6 weeks, and they finally shut him down, went on the disabled list. That was back in May.
Utley takes a strike.
Good news for Garrett Richards as far as the Angels are concerned. He pitched last Sunday against the Cincinnati Reds, and he had his velocity as high as 97 miles an hour.
1-1 to Utley. Inside. Chase 5 for 16 this spring.
And for Utley, it's going to be a new rule. As the backup player, he's going to play occasionally. And if you talk to the Dodger players, you hear the word leadership. It's synonymous with Utley.
One hop to second base, where Danny Espinosa picks it up and throws him out. So this Angels club finished 4th in the American League West last year in 14 games under 500. And they're got a boatload of question marks coming into this season, and Richards certainly is one of them. Now here's Jock Peterson, who has 6 hits this spring. 3 of the 6 home runs, he's knocked in 6 runs. We were talking a bit about it last night. He's altered his stance a little bit.
Altered his stance not only from the upper body, but also from the lower part of the body. Just a slightly kind of a narrow stance. We saw last spring he was back on his right heel. His right toe was off the ground in his stance. Then during the season, he changed his stance about 2 or 3 times, including the one trip out of Chicago. He saw Anthony Rizzo, left-handed hitting first baseman, the slugger for the Cubs, standing on top of the plate. Well, Jock says, hey, I think I'm going to stand on top of the plate. Well, he got jammed and then finally moved back off the plate again.
So Peterson batting second on this Saturday afternoon. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Charlie, we pointed out the other day about Peterson, and if you're watching his setup to begin with, against left-handed pitching, what we notice, he tucks in the right shoulder exaggerated early. Well, not so much with the right-handed pitchers, but he is getting the right shoulder tucked in where he's not flying over him immediately, just over the top of the right shoulder with a swing.
2 out, nobody on. And just as the Dodgers breathing a nice sigh of relief about Hyun-Jin Ryu's first inning, the Angels must be feeling the same way about Richards, who's going to be, with his elbow being what it is and how it has he's eschewed the Tommy John. It's going to be a game-to-game proposition.
And evidently he has confidence in how his arm feels, because that was a pretty good breaking ball right there. He has more of a power curveball than what Ryu has.
Yasmani Grandal, a good spring, takes outside and low. 1 ball, no strikes. 9 out of 22 is Grandal. Trace Thompson is on deck. And here's Richards.
For Yasmani Grandal, you know, he trimmed down a bit over the offseason. He figures it's going to help his stamina. He also worked very hard on the right-handed swing. Left-handed swing, he demonstrated some power and had some average. Right-handed, not quite as much.
2 balls and a strike.
Which, if you're a switch hitter, you're not going to be seeing a great number of left-handed pitching. Therefore, you're the switch hitter from the offside. And for Yasmani Grandal be from the right-handed batter's box. That's an area that requires just extra work. Like a player who's maybe not in the starting lineup all the time, that's where you really have to work even harder.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Just underway. Grandal 229 against right-handed pitching last year, 224 against the lefties. And the 2-2. Golf to left. And he's going to drop in front of Ben Revere for a 2-out single. Grandal goes the other way.
Hit the flare, protect the plate. Revere had ideas of maybe leaving his feet. And look, that ball had some pretty good sinking action the last second.
Well, here comes Trace Thompson now for the Dodgers.
Trace again is going to play either 4 or 5 innings or 2 or 3 at bats. Now they're going to monitor how he feels. He says he's raring to go. The back issue has been a prolonged issue with him, but now he says he's healthy.
80 games last year. And that was it. And those 80, he was in pain more times than not.
For right now, it's not really on results basis on what he does, whether it be a base hit or this is all about getting timing. You miss as much time as he missed last year and then so far in spring training, even during the offseason, not able to work out a great number of times. Pick up the ball.
0-2.
So it's all about timing. And oddly enough, when you come into spring training, for anyone who's gone an extended period of time, maybe even not driving their car for a while, you do feel a little awkward once you get behind the steering wheel and you're going to start your car up and back up and take off. Well, if you can imagine as a hitter, not only is trying to start that car, the traffic, that being the baseball, is coming by you in the mid 90-mile-an-hour range and you're trying to hit it.
On 0-2. Low on outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
There's so many different pieces of the puzzle in hitting. Vision is your best friend. Then it comes down to timing. And the more pitches you see, the more at-bats that you have in spring training, that timing is going to come much more rapidly. But for Trace Thompson, this is, look, I want to play. And they have him in lineup today. They don't want him just to hit. They also want him to get really kind of refamiliarizing himself with the defensive aspect.
On 1-2.
Trace Thompson hit last year. If we think back to a year ago, remember in spring training, I mean, he ran the bases exceptionally well. He made some terrific diving stops. He ran balls down. You figure there's no chance in the world that you can run it down. He's got those long antelope type strides. And then he had offense to go with it. But unfortunately, the injury to the back last year.
On 1-2. Down he goes. So Richard strikes out 2. Grandal stranded at first and will go to the second. No score from Glendale. made but one start over the last 2 years, 12 pitches in the first inning.
And they were not just pedestrian-type pitches either. The velocity was there. He worked the command of the strike zone, and then on top of it, the curveball right over the top. A couple of dandy hooks.
And so let's see how he fares in the second inning. Beginning with Jeffrey Marte, 9 out of 25 so far this spring for the Angels.
You know, Hyun-Jin Ryu growing up, he's a natural right-hander. But his first baseball glove was given to him by his father, and it was a left-handed glove. So he made the most of it. He said, okay, I'll make it fit. I'll make it work. So instead of using the right hand as a kid, no, I got this spanking new glove. My dad gave it to me. He became a left-hander.
Line foul. Some two balls and a strike to Marte. C.J. Cron on deck and Martin Maldonado to follow.
Charlie Ryu was talking about the difference in pitching in South Korea. He said, look, they're very competitive. They have some very good players. He said, but one of the big differences is, he said, pitching in Korea, I could sometimes get away with making a mistake or two in a game to a hitter, either location or maybe the pitch. He says, one thing I've noticed in the big leagues here in the United States, you make a mistake, you are going to pay dearly, whether it be the top or the bottom part of a lineup.
In 7 seasons in Korea, Ryu was 98 and 52.
Yeah, he was a superstar over there.
Slowly hit to short. Chris Taylor. Bellinger able to keep his foot on the bag. 1 out.
So Ryu, we mentioned he became a left-handed pitcher. When he bats, he's still right-handed because his dad did not give him a left-handed bat.
And Kenley Jansen is a natural left-hander who throws right in. He's made a pretty good career out of that. So no left-handed bats?
No.
C.J. Cron with a base hit into right field. Cron DHing today.
Although if you pick up a bat, you can tell if it was a right-hander or a left-hander that was using it. If you go the old theory, the trademark, if you hold it, the trademark is up. If all of the indentations are on the left side of the bat as you're looking at it, well, that was a right-handed batter that was using it. If the indentations, as you look above and look down to the label on the right-hand side, that was a left-handed batter that has used the bat.
Now you tell me.
Now you tell me.
Martin Maldonado has but 1 hit this spring and 18 at-bats. Maldonado coming over from the Brewers. Ryu misses high. 1 ball and no strikes.
Maldonado's out of Puerto Rico. Angels 27th round pick, 2004. In case you're wondering, no relationship to Candy Maldonado.
Candyman. On 2-0. 2 balls and a strike.
Got some guidance Maldonado did on playing baseball. He said, my mom, he says, was just right to the point. He says, you know, if you look at it, there's not too many Puerto Ricans that are playing the National Basketball Association because he liked basketball. He played a little baseball. Said, as soon as my mom sat me down, we talked about 5 minutes about that. He says, baseball became my favorite game.
And it's been very good to him. 3-1. Shane Robinson is on deck. Figure Maldonado is going to split time with Carlos Perez for the Angels down in Anaheim this year. This is the first of 5 exhibition games between the Dodgers and the Angels. Into right. Thompson drifting back at the wall. He makes the catch. Fighting the sun every step of the way. There's 2 gone.
Thompson about a half a step delaying. And the reason is this is not the easiest bark. In fact, most of the barks at spring training, you don't really pick up the ball that well immediately off the bat. He made a good play, goes back, had a lot of room.
Now there's 2 out. Boy, there's never been any question about the athleticism of Trace Thompson.
You're waiting, and now Jock Peterson is back in his position.
With 2 out, Shane Robinson, who has tormented the Dodgers over the course of his career, especially when he was in St. Louis. Off to a good start this spring. Well, that made it easy, didn't it?
Game's easy.
Look what I got. No runs and a hit. So Ryu, his 2 innings really couldn't have gone any better. And how about that glove? Oh, easy. Slim pickings. Will turn 29 in May. Was born in Riverside. Went to school at Oklahoma. And last year held just 6 starts with that elbow issue. And here's Cody Bellinger getting a lot of time at first base this spring. First with the elbow issue for Adrian Gonzalez. And now Adrian, of course, with Mexico at the World Baseball Classic. Bellinger's generally considered the heir apparent to Adrian at first base. They're playing Bellinger to pull. The first baseman, Jeffrey Marte, is maybe 3 feet off the line.
And yet the outfield's the opposite way and somewhat shallow in center is Young. When you watch Bellinger also, as the pitcher's into the windup, he's very busy with his hands. But then as the pitcher is about to release the ball, that's when the bat goes into the same position every time. And without getting that bat into that position, you can run into problems, particularly with a ball that is up into the air.
To second base, and on the odd hop, Espinosa picks it up and throws him out. But
Bellinger, Charlie, has shown he has power. got something else that a lot of young players don't have, and that's very good knowledge of the strike zone. He's not a guy that goes up there and just flails all the time. Looks like he's got a pretty good plan. He understands his swing. Just needs to continue to play a lot.
His dad, Clay Bellinger, a couple of years with the Yankees as a utility player. 99 and 2000, and here's Darnell Sweeney, who has done well this spring. Nothing in one. Sweeney's a switch hitter. Came up in the Dodger organization, was traded to the Phillies, and then came right back. He came back to the Dodgers in the deal that sent Howie Kendrick to Philadelphia. Darren Ruff, a left-handed hitting first baseman, was part of the deal. Ruff is now playing in Korea.
Sweeney's a guy that benefited in coming over the Dodgers. One of the first things that they did was that they didn't really shorten the swing. But what they wound up doing is they found a shorter route for him to get into the hitting zone. His swing had a tendency to get too long before he came over here.
Sweeney hit just .233 at Lehigh Valley last year. But in 5 minor league seasons, beginning with Ogden and Great Lakes, Rancho, Chattanooga, Oklahoma City, Lehigh Valley, a .272 batting average. About 3 years ago, he had one of those eye-opening springs. Wasn't able to cash it into the major league roster. But he's been interesting to watch. Grew up in Florida.
He's a line drive type hitter and understands is if he can hit the ball to the gaps, put the ball into play, he can utilize some speed that he has.
Richards on 1 and 2. And for Richards, that's his 3rd strikeout of the game.
Look at both of these pitchers with Ryu and now with Richards too. He said, hey, wait a minute. Both of these guys are coming off. We're talking about injuries. Well, how is it? This is Richards' 2nd outing. For Ryu, his 1st outing in spring. And they both have come equipped with pretty good fastballs and excellent curveballs today.
So with 2 out, nobody on, here is Austin Barnes. Caught last night. DHing this afternoon. And he takes a strike. It's 0-1. Kenley Jansen warming up in the Dodger bullpen, getting ready for his 2nd outing of the spring. Barnes on 0-1.
Well, is Barnes going to make the backup position with the Dodgers 25-man roster out of spring training as the backup catcher? He was originally a 2nd baseman when he first came here to the Valley of the Sun to attend Arizona State University.
Born in Riverside, lives in Corona.
But 2nd baseman. The Sun Devils had some of their catchers had been banged up. They were going to tournaments, and they said, any volunteers? Well, it was Austin Barnes who raised his hand. Then when the catchers got healthy, the coach came over and says, hey, you want to go back to 2nd base? He says, no, I'm really into this catching thing now.
To 3rd. Cowart. And Richards has an outstanding inning. He's retired 4 in a row. We will come back for the 3rd, and Kenley Jansen will be pitching when we come back. Engine Ryu and the Dodgers couldn't be more pleased with the outcome of today's first return. 2 innings, 26 pitches, 18 strikes, a couple of strikeouts, good breaking ball, and here is Kenley Jansen getting ready for his second outing of the spring. So Kenley, one of the huge re-signings for the Dodgers this offseason. Kenley, Rich Hill, Chase Utley, and of course Justin Turner. First pitch is whacked off the bat of Caleb Coward, and it's 0-1.
For Jansen, this is really an early call. He has spring training, 3rd inning. Normally during the regular season, he has not even left the locker room yet.
He really does have his own routine. He doesn't arrive in the bullpen until about the 5th or 6th inning.
He goes through a routine. A routine also with the trainers to stretch out, get loose. Doing his studying that he needs to do, the videotape that he's not already looked at the opposing team. So this is an early wake-up call for Kenley Jansen today.
Well, he'll get his inning in. Into short left, there's Chris Taylor.
So 3 pitches and a broken bat later, there's the first out for Jansen.
Nolan Fontana now hitting for the Angels. Starting at shortstop this afternoon.
Born in Richardson, Texas, and named after Nolan Ryan.
Breaking ball for a strike, 0-1.
The other story about Fontana, his grandfather, Lou Burdett.
Wow. Those great Milwaukee Braves teams.
Won 203 games in the majors.
The 0-1. You had Burdett, Spahn, Bob Buell. Those great Milwaukee Braves teams in the late 50s, early 60s. They had trouble drawing crowds, and they moved to Atlanta. No balls, 2 strikes. Fontana starting at shortstop this afternoon. Andrelton Simmons, it's his job, but Simmons, of course, at the WBC. Playing for the Netherlands. Jansen, of course, was a catcher for the Netherlands back in 2009.
It's really fun to watch a young man like Kenley Jansen grow, develop, and then become one of the elite closers in all of baseball.
Again, we've been fortunate to be around him every single day of his career and just watching him grow and mature.
And he didn't always have that self-confidence. I've told the story before, but I remember a very late night in Pittsburgh with the ball club. Played a night game somewhere, flew into Pittsburgh. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Guys are waiting to get their luggage. And in the lobby of the hotel, Taylor was going through some growing pains, and he was vocalizing. And Kenny Howell, former Dodger pitcher and assistant pitching coach of the Dodgers, just called Kenley over and says, "You know, young man, it's about time you began to figure some things out on your own." And by gosh, he did. And it was with the confidence instilled in not only what he did, but those around him in the Dodger organization.
Easy play at second base for Chase Utley.
But when you see a young player that comes on, I mean, consider the fact he's become one of the elites in the closing standpoint who began as a catcher. And he didn't know how much of a demotion it was when they said, look, we're going to take this catching here. We're going to put that aside. You have a great arm. Let's put you on the mound. Well, he used to look at the mound from behind home plate. Now he's on top of it looking home.
Homeward bound, 2 out, nobody on, and Eric Young Jr. coming up. He wide bounced to short. in his first at bat. We're scoreless in the top half of the third. And Jansen, again, with that growing maturity and confidence, has really become, in his own way, one of the team leaders and certainly the leader of the bullpen. As he refers to him, my guys. Those would have been words out of Jansen's mouth 5-6 years ago, unimaginable. Breaking ball for a strike.
It is fun, though, to watch a young player that goes from wondering if they belong to knowing that they can have an impact.
And now he'll be here for a long time. 2-1. So Ryu goes 2 innings. Now it's Jansen's turn. We're also going to see Avalon today. Yasiel Sierra, the hard-throwing Cuban right-hander. Josh Fields, Steve Geltz. Two balls and a strike to E.Y. Jr. Eric Young Jr. Breaks his bat. The ball goes about as far as the bat did. Trace Thompson airmails. Does he ever? Chris Taylor tried to act his way into Young making a base running mistake.
Well, for Jansen's broken 2 bats in 3 batters that he has faced. This one, a broken bat. Hit it just badly enough to know what could find it. Just a thought. Looking at Kenley holding the baseball. I mean, the baseball disappears in his hands. He's listed at 6'5". He is a monstrous 6'5".
Listed at 275. But he's in as good a shape as he's ever been. And that was a question about him early in his career. Not anymore. So the 2-out broken bat double has Eric Young Jr. at second base. And here's Ben Revere. Figure Revere to be a 4th outfielder. They've got Cameron Maben there picked up. He's going to be in left field. Of course, the incomparable Mike Trout in center and Cole Calhoun in right. For Revere, this is going to be his 7th season, beginning with the Twins, the Phillies, Blue Jays. Dodgers saw him in Washington last year. Revere signed a 1-year deal with the Angels right after the first of the year.
Originally a #1 pick by the Minnesota Twins out of high school in Kentucky, where he really played baseball. Football, he was a punt returner. Defensive back, receiver, played both sides of the ball. So an athletic family. His father played football and baseball at Eastern Kentucky.
Revere led the National League with 148 hits, 184 hits with the Phillies back in 2014. 2 balls, 2 strikes. But Revere last year was really disappointing in Washington. They thought he was going to be their leadoff hitter. Didn't work out too well. Hit .217.
What do you say, man? Move the bag!
So Kenley Jansen about to throw his 19th pitch. This will be his only inning of work, of course. Can't finish off Revere.
Nope, and Revere's lucky that that bat stayed in one hand, one solid piece. I started to mention the hands. Boy, he had. You talk about a hitch. Watch Revere when he begins to swing. He holds the bat high to begin with, and then there is a very exaggerated hitch where he drops the hands, and he did not get the hands back up in time that last swing.
There's the hitch. And there's a shot to right center field. To the wall and in to score is Eric Young. Revere will arrive at third base.
Well, he got the hands back up in plenty of time on that swing. The swing before, he was severely jammed. This one, he puts the barrel of the bat right on the ball. And Rivera showed the fact he can still run. He was the fastest guy drafted in his class when the Twins got him as a #1 pick a number of years ago.
Keep it going, Danny. Pick the fence out there.
Revere's stolen as many as 49 bases in a season in his career. So Jansen, after retiring the first two batters, Young a broken bat double, and Revere got his money's worth on a triple. And so the Angels take the early lead. Danny Espinosa hoping to restart his career with the Angels.
Keep it going, kid. Let's go.
Born, raised, still lives in Santa Ana, and he swings and misses. Played his high school ball at Modern Day. Angels sent a couple of pitchers, Kyle McGowan and Austin Adams, to Washington. Espinosa 1-2.
Well, the box score, you look at Jansen. Well, he gave up a double and then a triple. Keep in mind, the box score does not tell you it was a good pitch on the double. It was a broken bat, little flare.
Strike this guy out.
The triple, nothing flare about that. That was rock solid.
Espinosa takes high and away. Danny, of course, played collegiately at Cal State Long Beach. The dirtbag was a teammate of Evan Longoria.
And Tulowitzki followed him at shortstop.
Espinosa on 2-2. Excuse me. Sweeney throws him out. That'll end the inning. A two-out broken bat double for Eric Young. Revere's triple has given the Angels a 1-0 lead. We go to the bottom of the third. 2017 Dodger season tickets available now for a limited time only. Enjoy exclusive benefits and great savings, just starting as low as $13 a game. Or for greater flexibility while enjoying exciting matchups and promotional nights, purchase a mini plan. Visit Dodgers.com/season tickets. Tyler Holt leads it off and takes low on outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Holt is 8 for 16 this spring. First time we've had a chance to watch him at all.
Yeah, out of Florida State, originally drafted by the Cleveland Indians in the 10th round.
1 ball, no strikes. Can't see them. Holt played 106 games last year in Cincinnati. Signed as a free agent in December. Garrett Richards in his 3rd inning has pitched well to this point. He struck out 3, giving up a base hit. Tyler Holt is 28, 5'10", a little over 200 pounds. Two and 2.
Yeah, for Holt, 106 games, but less than 200 at bats last year with the Reds. But what I found glaring is he didn't steal many bases, just 4. Now the year before combined, yes, AAA and then the big leagues, had 26 stolen bases. He's stolen as many as 30 in a single season.
On 2 and 2. Just outside in the low, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well,
Chris Taylor on deck, then Chase Utley.
Both teams, Charlie, have to be very confident about, for the Angels, the way that Garrett Richards is throwing. And again, did not have the Tommy John surgery last year. Went for the stem cell treatment. But Hyun-Jin Ryu, 2 strong innings in his first outing with the Dodgers.
And he'll be talking with Alana in a little bit, and we'll have that interview for you. So Holt the leadoff walk here in the 3rd. Well, the Dodgers have a few spots open, and one of them is as a utility player. Kike Hernandez at the moment is playing for Team Puerto Rico in the WBC. Chris Taylor has been playing some outfield this spring. By and large, a shortstop. Has played a bit of 3rd. Taylor 6 for 17 this spring. Angels 1-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. Holt just does get back, and you see why Martin Maldonado has been in the big leagues as long as he has, with a powerful throwing arm.
A quick release. Holt had a good secondary lead. Has to scamper back in a hurry.
Taylor came over from Seattle last year. Chris now 26. Came up in the Mariner organization. He was a 5th-round pick in Seattle in 2012.
Athletic family. His father, Chris Sr., at Virginia Tech, was a wrestler. Not only a wrestler, he held the school record for the fastest pin in a match until 2009.
So Chris didn't want to mess with Dad.
No. And Granddad also wrestled for Virginia Tech. And he's in Virginia Tech Sports Hall of Fame. So I'm just guessing. You don't want to get in a wrestling match with him. He may have some moves.
On 3-0. A 4-pitch walk. So Richards, so good in the first 2 innings with 3 strikeouts, begins the third, giving up back-to-back walks.
You just wonder, too, with Garrett Richards, the second outings he's had, he was beginning to tire a little bit. There's no action in the Angels bullpen in right field, at least at the present time.
Subject to change without notice. Enjoying an 82-degree sunshiny Saturday afternoon. Now Chase Utley, who bounced to second base in his first at-bat. Utley, Jansen, Hill, Justin Turner, all free agents at the end of last year, all thrilled to be back.
Now the Angels called out of the bullpen. They will get some action. You can see now Garrett Richards just beginning to labor and was throwing free and easy. Now it appears to be, well, a little bit of an effort.
One ball, no strikes. First and second, nobody out. Utley takes a strike. Chase in his 14th big league season is second with the Dodgers. 6-time All-Star and a 4-time Silver Slugger Award winner. And he is essentially another member of the coaching staff. On 1-1, way outside. Yeah, Richards overthrowing last couple of batters.
Yeah, it's beginning to labor at the present time. Maldonado's trying to fire him up from behind home plate in his catching position, but you can just see Richards doesn't quite have the electricity in the arm that he had the first 2 innings. The first inning in particular came up with just a terrific power curveball.
Two balls, 2 strikes to Chase Utley. Chase went to Long Beach Poly, UCLA. Hit over .340 in his career with the Bruins. And Utley, who really became the Dodgers leadoff hitter last year, had led off in Philadelphia just 11 times in his career until last season. Of course, he had Jimmy Rollins in front of him all those seasons in Philadelphia. So he's one of those guys, whatever the Dodgers need him to do, he does. And he's one of those leaders in the clubhouse.
Well, you see a player with a different uniform on. You only see them before the game, batting practice, and then when the game starts. You don't see the work and the preparation that they do. I got to tell you, it was a delight to watch Chase Utley last year, the way that he goes about preparing for the game.
3-2 with nobody out. Runners stay put, and Utley fouls it back.
Now, did he do anything that was different than other players? It's the amount of time and the intensity that he spends daily getting ready for a game. Who's pitching? Who's the catcher? Who's the umpire? What strike zone does that umpire have? And even when he's not in game, we made an observation about a week and a half ago is that he was not playing the game, and yet he was staring over the top railing of the Dodgers third base dugout, watching every move of every player.
On 3-2, Utley down on strikes. Richards his 4th strikeout, and that's the first out of the 3rd inning.
Mike Scioscia coming out, and looks like that is going to be all for his right-hander. But the good news is, to this particular point, opting not to have the Tommy John surgery, going to stem cell, has paid off.
So 48 pitches, and Richards' day is done. He walked 2 in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. 1 out. Angels making a pitching change, and they lead 1-0. '21-year-old Eduardo Paradis, between Inland Empire and Arkansas last year. You see his numbers: 6'1", 170 pounds. Out of Venezuela, signed as an international free agent in the Angel organization in 2012. So he's been working his way up, and he has taken over for Garrett Richards, who went 2 1/3, struck out 4 and walked 2.
Good live arm, 92 to 98 on the fastball. Slider, changeup, and he likes to go with the changeup to left-handed batters.
So here's Jock Peterson, who struck out swinging in his first at-bat. You're seeing the back of Tyler Holt leading off second base. Chris Taylor leads off first. Angels are running 3 hits. The Dodgers have been held to 1 hit so far. And a 4-6-3 double play. So Paradis comes in, and Peterson bounces to Espinosa, to Fontana, to Marte to complete the 4-6-3, and that ends the 3rd. The Dodgers is Josh Fields. He takes over for Kenley Jansen, who went an inning, gave up a run and 2 hits. But the big story to this point of the game, the return of Hyun-Jin Ryu. 2 solid innings, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts, 26 pitches, 18 of them for strikes, and he is standing by downstairs now with Alana.
Hyun-Jin, obviously the first time back since last year when you had that 1 outing, but a strong outing. How did the 2 innings feel to you?
형님 어제 작년에 이제 한 번 던지시고 나서 이제 첫 경기였는데 그 이닝을 굉장히 잘 던지셨어요. 어떻게 느끼시는지?
지금 팔 상태가 너무 좋고 지금 다리도 좀 땡겼던 부분도 완전히 다 났고 지금 준비도 너무 잘 됐고 2이닝 오늘 던졌는데 기분 좋게 너무 잘 던진 것 같아요.
I feel great right now. Obviously my shoulder and everything, and on the left groin that was kind of uncomfortable. That's gone now, so I've been able to prepare well, and the 2 innings went pretty well.
Left shoulder surgery and then the left elbow tendonitis, obviously things that he was dealing with the last 2 years. How nice is it to be able to be healthy and be able to get back out there and compete for the spot in the rotation?
이제 어깨하고 이제 팔꿈치 부상 때문에 2년을 이제 고생을 하셨는데 이제 건강하시다고 하시는데 이 느낌이 어떤지, 그 이제 다시 이제 선발 경쟁할 수 있게 되는데 그거에 대해서 어떻게 생각하시는지?
지금 너무 좋은 것 같고 지금 던지는데 전혀 이상 없고 지금 오랜만에 또 경기에 던졌는데 또 기분 새로웠고 이제 또 시작이라고 생각하고 오늘 첫 경기 던졌기 때문에 이제 시작이 생각하고 이제 또 계속 준비 잘해가지고 계속 로테이션대로 일단 잘 준비할 생각이에요.
Obviously, I feel great. I'm healthy, and then it's been a while since I've pitched in front of this many crowds, so it's obviously very good for a player. And then this is just the first game. I don't want to put too much meaning into it, but I'll just make sure that I'm ready for the opening day and for the season.
How would you describe the way that the last 2 years have gone for you?
이제 제 최근 2년을 어떻게 이제 평가하시는지, 어떻게 생각하시는지?
2년 동안 뭐 당연히 투수가 마운드에 던져야 되는데 못 던졌고 부상 때문에 못 던졌는데 굉장히 아쉽게 생각하고 그 2년은 신 거를 이제부터 준비해가지고 또 이제 선수들하고 같이 올 시즌 계속 잘 준비해야 될 것 같아요.
As a starting pitcher, it was painful to not be able to be on the mound, and that 2 year felt pretty long for me. And obviously, I'm back now, and I feel healthy. And my job is to go out there and pitch and get it, and put the team in a position where they can win.
Do you legitimately think that you will be in the starting rotation to start the season?
이번 시즌 시작할 때 정말로 이제 스타팅 로테이션에 들어갈 거라고 생각을 하시는지?
지금 몸이 괜찮기 때문에 시범 경기 동안 또 처음처럼 같이 경쟁하는 식으로 해서 시범 경기 잘 치르다 보면은 좋은 날이 있지 않을까 생각하고 있어요.
Most important thing is that I'm healthy, and just like my first time here, I'm obviously competing for a spot, and there's a few more games that I'm probably going to pitch in the spring training. And so if I just focus on each game at a time, I'm pretty sure a good result will follow.
Finally for you, as far as the pitches were concerned, what felt the best?
이제 오늘 던졌던 구종 중에서 어떤 게 제일 좋았는지?
오늘 제고 같은 것도 그렇고 뭐 거의 2이닝 동안 괜찮았다고 생각하고 뭐 전체적으로 다 괜찮았었어요.
I can't single out a single pitch. My command felt good, and then I felt like all the pitches were working to a certain degree.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
And thank you to Alana and Hyun-Jin Ryu, who will turn 29 in a couple of weeks. Well hit to right center field, and it is gone, a home run. C.J. Cron got all of it off Josh Fields. And that gives the Angels a 2-0 lead.
There are some counts that hitters get that they love. 2-0 is one of them. If you've got room to make a mistake or two, and for Josh Fields, left the ball out over the plate, and Cron left it out over the fence.
So Josh Fields gives up the home run. And for Cron, his second home run of the spring. Martin Maldonado fouls it off. It's been a tough spring for Josh Fields. His ERA now is over 25. Still early, but He's been cuffed around.
Yeah, it could get late in a hurry, and Josh Fields and the other pitchers know. Position players, too, for that matter. We're getting close to that point that it's going to become results-oriented. Well, the guys that have positions, yeah, they're not going to lose their position because they go 0 for 12 or 1 for 14. But some other guys need to step up and make long strides to win a position.
Peterson. There's 2 out. As Maldonado flies to center. For Josh Fields, this is his 4th appearance of the spring. This is his 5th big league season, 2nd with the Dodgers, who picked him up from the Astros last August. Now Shane Robinson, who bounced back to the box in his first at-bat. Fields, the 3rd Dodger pitcher of the day. Ryu rather low-key and matter-of-fact in his self-appraisal with Alana just a moment ago. Again, it's so early. It was his first outing. But again, coming off shoulder surgery and issues with his left elbow. And the conventional wisdom is it is much more difficult for a pitcher to come back off shoulder surgery than it is any elbow issue.
And how delightful that he had the command of the strike zone. I mean, he was right around it. The curveball was very crisp.
1-1 to Robinson. Number to 3rd. Sweeney with the bare hand. Darnell Sweeney turns in a nice play. Sweeney throws out Robinson. Crone the home run. And the Angels lead 2-0 after 3½. The WBC continues in a big game down in Miami coming up a little more than an hour from now. Team USA and the defending champion Dominican Republic. The semifinals and final return to Dodger Stadium March 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Visit Dodgers.com/WBC for information and to purchase tickets. Team Mexico still stung by the Italian come-from-behind win. Gonzalez and Sergio Romo playing for Mexico, along with Alex Verdugo at a terrific game. And Rob Segedin, who apparently had pizza once, is on the Italian team. And he hit a home run the other way.
Long.
A long way.
A long way.
Bud Norris spent a little bit of time with the Dodgers last year. Now looking to hook up with the Angels. Josh Fields goes an inning, gives up a run and a hit and the home run to C.J. Cron. Yasmani Grandal, Trace Thompson, and Cody Bellinger will be hitting for the Dodgers here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Grandal single to left in his first at bat, the only hit for the Dodgers to this point. Inside and low. Norris is now 32. When he first came up with the Astros back in 2009, they had great expectations for him. But over the course of his now 8-year big league career with the Astros and the Orioles, Padres, Braves, Dodgers, 62 and 78. An ERA 4.5. Blows it past Grandal. It's 2-2.
For Bud Norris, given a nickname at the minor league level that somehow he has not been able to erase over the internet. Cuddly, Studley, Budley. Can't make this stuff up.
I'm sure he just loves that nickname.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Cuddly. No, I don't answer to Cuddly. How about Budley?
No. How about Cuddly, Studley, Budley?
Better than Dudley. Here's a 2-2. Swung on and missed strike 3. So Grandal down on strikes, and that is the first out of the bottom of the fourth.
For Norris, also his grandfather. Once game of baseball was signed by Joe DiMaggio. The story went his grandfather played at Cal Berkeley back in the 40s and actually went to spring training with the Yankees. It is believed that DiMaggio presented his grandfather with the ball back in the 40s when he went to spring training.
Well, here's Trace Thompson. Swings and misses, 0-1. Thompson struck out swinging in his first at bat. This is his first game back, of course, after missing half the season last year. A couple of fractures in his back. He was playing with a bad back all along, and they never quite understood what it was, and finally they discovered it, shut him down, and trying to get back in the saddle.
And he can't really pinpoint exactly when he was injured.
We were talking the other day. I said, so do you know when it happened? He said he may have run into a wall a couple of years ago in Baltimore, he said. And he never really thought much about it. It just kind of lingered and never did get any better.
Yeah. I mentioned earlier today with Trey's pitching, this is not about, or playing anyway, this is not about results orientation to garner how he's doing. This is more about just, look, get into the game, start to get your timing, pick up the ball offensively and defensively. We've seen one catch he's gone back deeply on the warning track. And the big telltale sign is going to be how he feels tomorrow when he rolls out of bed. Are there any aches and pains that maybe he was not feeling today?
2-2. Into center field. Drifting on back is Eric Young Jr.
And just watching Thompson there, we got just a snippet at the back end. He's running unimpeded, and he's running smoothly. I mean, he's like a gazelle when he runs anyway. So that's the good news. If your back is bothering you, you can't do that.
Of course, he comes from a great athletic family. Dad Michael and his brother Clay. Now Cody Bellinger takes under the knees.
So again, I brought it up earlier about Bellinger. He's very busy with the hands. And once he gets into that hitting position, but he just has to make sure that whatever the timing is of the pitcher, that he actually gets in that one spot And that's kind of the base for him. I mean, he'll waggle the bat, and then there's that one little set position he gets into. Right there. Yep. It's like a hitch. You can drop your hands. People say, well, the hitch is bad. Well, it's not the best thing to work with. But as long as you drop your hands and get them back up to the top of the strike zone, you're fine. So you have extra bat movement. People used to say it about Gary Sheffield. Oh, you're moving the bat around. You're too much. It's too much. He was so strong he could do it. But he came to one set position.
Off the glove of Fontana. Still has time to throw out Bellinger.
That was a rocket.
That was a good-looking swing, but Bellinger has nothing to show for it. Norris, a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the 5th. Let me check that. Yeah, it's Luis Avalon. 6 big league season, 3rd with the Dodgers. And he was solid out of the pen last year, and he's given up an earned run in 3 innings so far this spring. Following Josh Fields, who pitched an inning and gave up a home run to C.J. Cron. So the Angels have themselves a 2-0 lead as Caleb Cowart leads it off. Dodgers 12 runs and 15 hits last night. No runs and a hit so far this afternoon.
For Avalon, the fastball, the changeup is really a pitch that he was able to harness very well last year. And he's a guy that keeps the ball in the ballpark. He's given up in his career at the big league level just 10 home runs in 217 innings that he has worked.
And you're looking at Caleb Cowart, first-round pick in 2010 for the Angels. Last year in 31 games in Anaheim, a 176 average. A career 258 hitter in the minor leagues.
Well, the Angels can use a third baseman, whether it be now or in a few years. They have had quite a turnover. You think back just recently, in fact. How about this? Dallas McPherson, Brandon Wood, Sean Figgins, Macier Izturis, Alberto Callaspo, David Freese.
Sean Figgins has spent a little bit of time with the Dodgers. In the right center field. And it's going to get tracked down.
There's some defensive changes for the Dodgers. And Brett Eibner took over in center field, and he's shown us in the brief times that we've seen Eibner, he gets pretty good jumps on the ball, covers a lot of ground.
So he takes over for Jock Peterson in center field. And Nolan Fontana is stepping in. Fontana at short. And of course, Andrelton Simmons is away at the WBC playing for the Netherlands, which is essentially Curacao. And to right center, and there's Eibner again.
It's all over the place. How about the Angels? Starting to look at a former teammate, and for Mike Scioscia in his 18th year at the helm of the Angels. Just the third manager, by the way, to guide his team for at least 18 consecutive seasons. The two in front of him, Tommy Lasorda, 21 years, and Walter Alston did it for 23 seasons.
Let's go, Eric!
2 out, nobody on. Eric Young Jr.
And Scioscia's contract runs through 2018.
The Angels went a bit off course between 2011 and 2012. One of those good ideas on paper, and at the time they spent almost $500 million on Josh Hamilton, C.J. Wilson, and Albert Pujols. $456,500,000. Wilson's gone. Hamilton, of course, had his issues. Pujols, not getting any younger, had surgery for the plantar fasciitis in the offseason. And he still has 4 years to go on his deal.
And Hamilton just underwent yet another knee surgery
with the Texas Rangers, but the Angels are paying the freight. So when you spend $500 million on 3 players, there's only so much green to go around, and if they're not panning out, then by and large they haven't and didn't. Little comebacker. Avalon throws out E.Y. Jr. and a good inning for Luis Avilon. Go to the bottom half of the 5th. Angels 2-0. $87 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. MLB.TV Premium is back and better than ever. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live on over 400 supported devices. Plus, enjoy almost 300 spring training games And, of course, 2017 World Baseball Classic. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Darnell Sweeney leading it off against Bud Norris. For Norris, his second inning of relief. Sweeney struck out swinging in his first at-bat. Angels 2-zip. They have 4 hits. The Dodgers have 1, and Sweeney rolls one to second base, where Danny Espinosa picks it up and throws him out.
A lot of ground balls today. Not too many outs recorded in the air, at least not by the Dodgers. Angels have hit a few into the air.
Trace Thompson flied to center field, and that was the only work the outfield's had to do for the Angels to this point. Austin Barnes bounced to third in his first at-bat. Dodgers have a split squad tomorrow during the day over in Surprise with Clayton Kershaw going. And then tomorrow at 7, the White Sox with Derek Holland going against Alex Wood. And that game will be simulcast. Barnes, the DH today. And Norris crackles a fastball for a strike. It's 0-2.
You have another busman's holiday coming up.
I gotta go find my keys.
Keys?
Keys to success, my friend.
Oh.
We'll get to that later. Here's a 1-2. Outside, 2 balls and 2
I thought
strikes.
maybe it was to the lockbox of your heart.
That's a. Oh, never. It's just one of those. 2-2. Tyler Holt is on deck, and Barnes takes low. So Austin Barnes, figuring to be Yasmani Grandal's understudy this year. Barnes 3 for 19 this spring. For the Dodgers, this is their 15th spring training game. So 23 to play. That is well hit to left center field. Austin Barnes has left the yard.
Not really known for his power, but boy, he went down and got that one and just drove it. So the Dodgers and Barnes, is he going to be the backup guy? And he has versatility, something that you maybe don't use a whole lot. Versatility in a catcher position. But that ball came inside. Barnes stayed right on it, and he drilled it. Every ounce of it.
He broke up somebody's picnic out there. So it's 2-1 on the Austin Barnes home run, and Tyler Holt is coming up. The Dodgers last year as a group hit 189 home runs, middle of the pack in the National League. The Angels hit only 156, and that ranked them 14th out of the 15 teams in the American League. Holt fouls it off, and it's 0-2. Tyler Holt, a leadoff walk in the 3rd inning against Garrett Richards, who would go 2 1/3, give up 1 hit, and pitch very well.
A lot of things that you miss when you're no longer playing. What Mr. Holt just experienced, however, is not one of them. Fouling a ball off your leg. It's not that common to foul it off your back leg.
On 0-2. Of course, last year it seemed innocent enough. A week from now, a year ago, when Andre Ethier fouled it off his shin, and that would effectively end his season. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Andre is having a solid spring, final year of his contract. And again, that heavily populated outfield.
The Dodgers come into camp. There's a possibility. There were 9 guys that were saying, look, count me in, count me in. Realistically, all 9 were not going to be considered. But there are some decisions to be made. So Here's trying to come back, have a good year. And you figure that this is a very important spring training for Yasiel Puig, who, by the way, hit 2 home runs last night. And it's a different swing that we're seeing with Yasiel Puig. The question is, does he hold on to that swing? Repeatability, but 2 home runs and a walk. So even the 3rd at bat after the 2 home runs, he was disciplined enough to get the walk.
Into short right center field, and it drops into the Bermuda Triangle. Tyler Holt is aboard.
Holt actually, after he made that turn, was attempting to draw the throw. You know, somebody years ago that used to do that. I mean, the guys that could run very well do it. Willie Mays would bait outfielder. You see Holt, he's looking. Okay, are you going to throw behind me? Had they thrown to first base initially, he would have taken off, just continued to go to second.
1 out, 1 on, 1 in. Chris Taylor walked in his first at bat.
Taylor, one of those 9 that we talked about for the outfield. But he's shown the versatility, both he and Kike Hernandez. Kiki's away playing the WBC with Puerto Rico, but both playing shortstop and center field.
And can play a little second. And so you would think, at least on paper, as of March 11th at 20-3 in the afternoon, you got a head-on collision between Taylor and Kike Hernandez. Kike coming off a 190 season last year. And you've got Charlie Culberson for that potential utility role. Into left center field. That is well hit, and that one is off the base of the wall. Rounding third, on his way home to score is Holt. Taylor arrives at third base with a triple, and the Dodgers have tied the score at 2.
Second ball hit very hard in this inning, this time for the RBI triple. Well, for Taylor, trying to make some noise and get some attention here in spring training, has done that right here. That ball right at the base of the wall. Angels now will draw their infield in tightly after the triple.
And Chase Utley is stepping in. Chris Taylor is now 7 for 18 this spring. So the infield is in. Cowart and Fontana on the left side. Danny Espinosa, Jeffrey Marte on the right. And a call strike to Utley. It's 0-1. So Norris retired the first 4 batters he faced. Retired the Dodgers in order in the 4th inning. Sweeney grounded to second base, and Barnes a home run. Holt a bloop single, and Taylor a triple into left center. Utley takes a strike, and it's 0-2.
A couple of things really going on here is that third baseman Cowart trying to make sure that Taylor stays close to the third base bag. What that also activates, you see the umpire. Well, the umpire's got to stand right there as well in case there is a pickoff to third base, or if there is a line drive hit and caught by the third baseman.
Into center field. That should be more than enough to get Taylor home. He's on his way, and he'll make it easily. So Chase Utley, he's the kind of guy you want in that kind of situation. With the infield in, he knew what he had to do, and he did it. Sac fly for Chase Utley. That's his 8th RBI this spring.
And we just got through talking the last inning about the fact that Dodgers have hit very few balls into the air. There's only been one of the ball caught by an outfielder in this game before that sacrifice fly.
Now Brett Eibner stepping in.
There are little things that managers and coaches are looking at, probably went unnoticed. On a sacrifice fly, Eibner, who is the on-deck hitter, has the responsibility to help the runners at home plate. That's exactly what he did. You sprint from the on-deck circle to go to home plate to help the runner just in case something happens. And Dave Roberts, along with other managers, I mean, they make notes as they go along to figure out, well, are there things we need to work on tomorrow or put on the agenda for the next few days, whether it be defense, offense, or just the overall approach.
Eibner on 0-2.
You got this too off.
Eibner, second-round pick of the Kansas City Royals in 2010. 1-2. Swings and misses. Maldonado will complete the strikeout by throwing him out. Austin Barnes, his 4th hit of the spring, was a big one. Dodgers have taken the lead now, 3-2. We head to the 6th. The boys of summer. Tommy Lasorda, Pat Corrales. I've got enough today. And the Dodgers have made some changes, beginning with a new pitcher. Steve Geltz. Jose Miguel Fernandez takes over at second base, and Andrew Tolles is in left. Geltz with the Rays last year. Ben Revere leading it off. He's tripled and driven in a run in 2 at-bats, takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Geltz gave up a run and a hit against the Giants 4 days ago. 27 big league appearances last year. So the Dodgers come up with 3 in the bottom of the 5th and lead it 3-2. Austin Barnes a home run, Holt a single, and Chris Taylor a triple. To third base, Darnell Sweeney picks it up and throws him out. And Danny Espinosa coming up. Let's see how the homecoming for Danny Espinosa works out this season. Boy, he had a terrible time of it in Washington last year. Hometown kid takes one up and in. Danny is now 29. He'll turn 30 next month. Here come those Santa Ana winds again. He's from Santa Ana. To the left and out of play. Came up with the Nationals. Back in 2010. A career .230 hitter. Good news was he hit 24 home runs and knocked in 72 last year. The bad news was he hit 209. And by the end of the year, they were riding.
For Espinosa also, he's a switch hitter. Then he abandoned switch hitting. Strong sides from the side that he's up there now. And then gone back to it.
Angels sent a couple of pitchers to Washington. And he is down on strikes, so Geltz retires the first 2 batters he faces. Brings up Jeffrey Marte. Steve Geltz is from upstate New York. 5'10", 207. Angels signed him as a non-drafted free agent back in 2008. And pitched for them at the major league level all of 2 games in 2012. And on to Tampa Bay. No balls and a strike. Marte 1-1. Make it 1 ball and make it no balls and 2 strikes.
One very enthusiastic fan right behind the screen.
And right near the mic.
Yes.
And Marte, he's down on strikes. And she's going to go gargling with some soda water. Dodgers with a 3-2 lead. Austin Barnes a home run. Chris Taylor an RBI triple on a day when Hyun-Jin Ryu, his first 2 innings back, was very good. No runs and a hit. Kenley Jansen went an inning, gave up a run and 2 base hits, and he's standing by downstairs now with Alana.
Kenley, your second outing of spring today. A bit of traffic there, but it's not always about the results. It's about things that you're working on. So what do you take from this one?
Well, I mean, you can't do nothing about it. I'm not going to make an excuse, but, you see 2, late swing on the hitter. You don't want to flip him slider there. I mean, he's just working on. I just tried to working on my elevated fastball, but it just wasn't getting there. Either too high or just leave it down. So just got to continue to work, and it will come through.
When you're working on either adding a pitch to your repertoire or just working on something that you already have in your arsenal, but you're trying to work out the kinks, how long does it typically take you before you know that you have the feel that you want on a certain pitch?
I mean, for me, it always will be, like the last 2 weeks of the spring. I mean, right now it's just, you want to be sharp, but you're not. I mean, you just you gotta accept that and continue. Just don't worry about the result right now, and then worry about the last 10 days of the spring training.
I know that you really didn't get to see much of what he was doing because you're getting ready in the bullpen yourself. But Hyun-Jin Ryu, a nice 2 innings of work today. It'd be nice to have him back. What does he mean to this starting rotation for you guys in general, and of course as a bullpen?
I mean, it's going to help a lot. I mean, having him back, I think, is going to be huge for us. So especially seeing the first 2 innings that he threw. So it's just great to have him back. It's going to help tremendously for us.
What about Trace Thompson, a position player that had some success last year and has been dealing with that back issue since last July?
He's going to be good, too, for us. I mean, he's going to be helping us a lot, too. I mean, he did earlier on before he had his back problem. So whenever he's healthy, it's going to be great for our club.
Finally for you, Kenley, how's your bullpen coming together as far as the chemistry with that group of guys?
Well, right now it's kind of tough right now because everybody is, all over the place right now. So you still have minor league invites and minor league players, and we just gotta see who's gonna make the club. This year is gonna be different. I mean, everybody gotta fight for their spot.
You don't. Thanks for your time.
All right, thank you.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Alana. We were talking about Kenley. That was Willie Calhoun leading off the inning with a single to center. His first at bat. He's quite a young hitter. Trace Thompson takes high and inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Thompson has struck out and flied to center. We were talking about Kenley earlier and watching him mature and grow. And just listening to the interview, he is so now comfortable within his own skin. He sounds like the seasoned veteran that he has become.
And analyzing the pitches that he threw, the location. Referred to the one was a bloop single, no question about that. Actually, the broken bat double down the right field line, and then there was a hard hit triple. It was off the wall that knocked in a run. But evaluating on where he is, he understands where he's going to be when we leave Arizona in spring training. Well, there are no shortcuts to get from here to there. As far as a pitcher, trying to get everything in order to be able to pitch same way as a hitter. There are no shortcuts. It's repetition, it's repetition, it's repetition.
And just watching him mature and how he dealing with us is part of the job, whether they like it or not. And he deals with it now so much better as Thompson's down on strikes. That's the first out of the 6th. New pitcher for the Angels, by the way, is Kenyon Middleton.
Who, by the way, was clocked twice last year at 102 miles an hour.
Chapman-esque. One out, one on here in the 6th inning.
The Angels keep everybody on their toes because there are 2 numbers 83 on their traveling roster.
Well, we had a 50-50 chance of being right.
And by the way, both numbers 83 are pitchers. Both right-handed pitchers.
4 wide receivers. Kenyon Middleton is out of Portland, Oregon. 6'2", 215, 3rd-round pick in 2013. He's got some giddy up. 0-2. Cody Bellinger's bounced to second base twice today. That's what it says in the box score, but in his second at bat, he hit it right on the button.
Got the proverbial hang with him. But for a hitter, once you hit the ball sharply, you cannot guide it. Pretty good swing. They tried to go upstairs. That's where the target was going. We're seeing more and more teams. How do you analyze your own talent? Well, sometimes you have to look at how other teams are pitching to particular hitters. Now, their input may be different according to the pitching staff that they have. What we have observed is that some teams try and move the ball inside to Cody Bellinger. Last one was up. They're going to call for it upstairs again here. And both times they didn't get nearly high enough, and that's why there's a visit to the mound. So each time they're trying to go upstairs with 2 strikes. Both times has not been quite upstairs to where the catcher wanted the ball, and that's what caused that very quick meeting on the mound. It's interesting to watch a game. Does the catcher move around? Is he setting up differently this time through the lineup than the previous time to the lineup, or with a different pitcher on the mound?
Bellinger with a fly ball well hit to center field. It's going to stay in the yard for Eric Young Jr. Calhoun will retreat. There's 2 out.
There's so many different things to observe. For Bellinger, when you look at videotape, one of the things you're also looking at, how's that team trying to pitch to me? And for what reason? Is it because I have not handled the ball in a particular area in this game or in previous games? So that's part of the awareness from a hitter's standpoint. And sometimes it's kind of painful to say, I'm not hitting that ball in there at all. Therefore, that's why they're trying to jam you. That's why they're trying to go away. That's why they're elevating the ball in the strike zone.
Darnell Sweeney has struck out and bounced to second. Switch hitter. And takes low and outside. Dodgers 3 runs and 5 hits, including an Austin Barnes home run and a Chris Taylor triple. The Angels 2 runs and 4 hits. Cron has a single and a solo home run. The 2 starters today with their own individual health concerns fared well. Ryu 2 innings, no runs and a hit, 26 pitches, 18 for strikes. Garrett Richards 2 1/3, 48 pitches, 26 strikes, 4 strikeouts and 2 walks. And Sweeney is late, 2-1.
We do not have the aid of a radar gun, but it's plenty fast.
Who are you going to believe, me or your lion eyes?
Lion eyes.
Oof. 2-2.
I'm looking down and I'm counting 2, 4, 6, 8. There are about a dozen major league scouts that are here. 3 of them look like they're equipped with radar guns. Sometimes it's funny, you look up, you see like 10 scouts. They all have their own individual guns. It's like, what, you don't trust the guy next to you? You're not going to share information?
You can't have a pool
Yeah.
radar gun?
And depending upon the radar gun, I don't know what the latest thing is in the last couple of years, but there are 2 different manufacturers, and one would register about 2 miles an hour faster than another make. So if you're a pitcher, you want them to have the fast model.
Can I interest you in the faster one? The 2-2. Sweeney stays alive.
But the other part too about the radar guns, from time to time, they're not that accurate. You have to tune them up, just as a police officer has to tune up their radar guns.
When we're driving in the middle of the night.
But the expert on radar guns Mike Brito.
Oh. The 2-2. Well hit to left field, slicing toward the corner, and it is gone. A home run. Well, that was quite an at-bat for Darnell Sweeney. Kept fouling him off, and he delivers a 2-run shot just fair and just over the wall and left. And the Dodgers take a 5-2 lead.
You battle and it pays off. He stays right on this pitch. Not a bad pitch either. A little bit up in the strike zone, but it's away. Big question for Darnell Sweeney, who's probably wondering, is it going to remain in fair territory at the 345 mark? It does indeed.
So the Dodgers with a couple of home runs. Sweeney trying to inject himself in that utility role, perhaps. Darnell can play second base, playing third today.
I think the message was delivered to everyone in this organization last year. Yes, they had 28 players. The Dodgers went to the DL. But versatility has really paid off to a lot of players.
Barnes flies to center to end the inning, but a pretty nifty at bat for Darnell Sweeney. A 2-run shot that just stayed fair, and the Dodgers lead by 3. We welcome you back to Camelback Ranch in Glendale, Arizona, in 3 weeks and 2 days the regular season opens, and the 2017 Dodger season tickets are available now for a limited time only. Enjoy exclusive benefits and great savings, just starting as low as $13 a game, or for greater flexibility while enjoying exciting matchups and promotional nights, purchase a mini plan. Visit Dodgers.com/season tickets. Yasiel Sierra, so far so good this spring. 4 innings, he's given up nothing. The young Cuban right-hander delivers high and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Sierra is the 6th Dodger pitcher of the day. Ryu, Jansen, Fields, Avalon, and Geltz. Steve Geltz faced 3 batters and struck out 2 of them, retiring the Angels in order in the 6th. We're in the top half of the 7th now. Line drive base hit into center field. Off the bat of Dustin Ackley. So both teams now are putting in the reserves. Martin Maldonado, 0 for 2 today, is just 1 for 20 this spring. Dodgers have a new first baseman out there, Tim LaCastro, and a new right fielder in Stetson Ali.
Sierra defected from Cuba right after the 2015 season ended. And many teams thought that of all the Cuban players that are available, he was probably the closest to Major League ready. The Dodgers over a year ago signed him to a 6-year deal.
Into center. Heading on back and making the catch. Brett Eibner. Yasiel Sierra is 25, 6'1", 171 pounds. And he can muscle it up there.
As part of that 2014 Cuba team that won the gold medal in Central American and Caribbean Games in Mexico.
Ah, that team.
That team.
But the Dodgers have high hopes for this right-hander. That's going to be trouble down the left field line. It's a fair ball by a foot. But Dustin Ackley not sure whether or not that little blooper could be corralled as a hold at second base.
Really noticing about this Sierra, that ball flew flare down the line as a trio, and Sierra realizing third base is left unoccupied, and he immediately went over to the bag to make sure the runners could not advance. And again, I'm talking about managers and coaches just jotting down little things that go well. Well, Sierra very well schooled. He was right there on the spot at third base.
So first and second, one man out. Looks like a 4-6-3 double play. And that'll end the inning. Cowart bounces out. No runs, 2 hits, and a man left. 7th inning stretch. Dodgers 5-2. Other half of the 7th inning stretch. And so far, so good for the Dodgers today. They lead it 5-2. Mike Marin is now on in relief. 60 appearances with the Angels last year. And this year, he's given up an earned run in 3 innings of work. And the Angels are now beginning to empty the bench, as the Dodgers have. And Andrew Toles will be leading it off. This is Andrew's first at-bat of the day. Dodgers with 3 in the 5th and 2 in the 6th. Toles, a liner to left. And it is caught out there by Michael Sierra, who was just put into the game.
Another hang with him for a hitter. It's a tough catch. Sierra comes in. If that ball is tailing, it really goes to your backhand side. You've already committed. You're coming in, and if you don't catch it cleanly, you're going to get a line drive right off the noggin.
So Toles robbed of a hit. 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. And here is Chris Taylor. Taking low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Second consecutive game here at Camelback Ranch that has been sold out. 13,202 on this great looking Saturday afternoon, and Chris Taylor's having himself a great Saturday afternoon. Taylor has walked, tripled, scored a run, and now he has doubled.
Trying to make an impression. Starting at shortstop today, turns on that ball, goes down the line. And Taylor would give way for a pinch runner.
Eric Mejia. 0. And Miguel Fernandez robbed of a hit. Taylor goes to third, and there's 2 out. So there's a lot of question about the WBC and a fellow like Kike Hernandez playing for Puerto Rico, really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for him. All the while, that kind of opened the door a little bit for Chris Taylor and maybe even Darnell Sweeney.
I agree wholeheartedly. And if you're on the cusp of making a ball club, you've got to weigh it. You know, the pros, the cons, opportunities that either may be garnered or missed.
You're looking at Brett Eibner now. He struck out in his first at-bat. A couple of years ago, maybe 3, Darnell Sweeney had a terrific spring and never did quite make it. And Sweeney again with a home run today is now 9 for 23. Showing some power, and he can play second, he can play third. Chris Taylor certainly flexing his muscles. Big breaking ball, and Eibner is badly fooled. It's 0-2. So some good, healthy battles with a few vacancies at the end. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Taylor is at third. And Eibner lays off a fastball.
And a lot of different ways to go ahead and really analyze what a player is going to do. Andrew Toles, for example, last year, the Dodgers sat him down and said, look, we don't necessarily go off a batting average or runs batted in. Here are some of the things that we look at, a preamble, if you will, of how they're going ahead and engaging hitters.
Eibner takes a call, third strike. That'll end the inning. Taylor stranded at third and will go to the eighth. Dodgers 5-2. As we head to the top of the eighth, you're looking at Yasiel Sierra, who will be pitching his second inning of relief. The Dodgers have used Ryu this afternoon. Jansen, Fields, Avalon, Geltz, and now Yasiel Sierra. Ryu, if you're just joining us, no runs and a hit in 2 innings, 26 pitches, 18 strikes. Struck out 2 batters. Here in the top half of the 8th inning, Navarro bounces to first base. Tim LaCastro picks it up, takes care of it himself. There's 1 out.
A lot of younger players told to report to the big league locker room and a chance to get into the ball game.
Eric Young Jr. stepping in. Again, it's spring training, and I always put the caveat in there. This is Eric Mejia. Wow. Eric Young Jr., very fast runner. Mejia just injected into the lineup. First time we've seen him. He is fast, he's quick, and he's got a good arm.
And has tremendous balance. This ball is on the right field side of the second base bag. Picks it up in one motion. Throws, has something on it. That is most impressive, especially just to the ball game. Hello.
Nice to meet you. I was going to say about Sierra. Again, it's early. It's March 11th. And we're 15 games into spring. But he's got this cool about him. An Urias type. He doesn't seem to be flustered at all out there.
You wouldn't either if you had that kind of arm.
Well, there have been a lot of pitchers over the years with $1 million arms and 10-cent hits.
Exactly. Yeah, you want the control tower also to match the runway.
But he's been impressive. 1 ball, 2 strikes. You don't want too many crash landings, do
No.
you? 2 gone in the 8th. Wow. So Sierra retires the side in order. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Incoming. 5-2 Dodgers. Another sold-out house here at Camelback Ranch, 13,212. There has not been a cloud in the sky. Temperature's been flirting with right around 90 degrees. And by spring training standards, this has been a crisply played game. And the fans have enjoyed themselves. Back-to-back sellouts. And here's Willie Calhoun facing now Justin Miller. Dodgers have seen him before with the Rockies. And Calhoun, an interesting study. He singled in his only at-bat. With the slightly open stance. Calhoun is 2 for 8 this spring. And he's one of those players when other GMs come calling, his name will come up in discussion.
Well, stocky build and a very quiet stance to begin with. Not a great deal of motion. Stands a long way from the plate. Open stance. When he moves into the ball and he hits against a firm front side, he can hit it hard.
4th round pick. Speaking of that, Calhoun will take the big turn and try to double his money. And he does.
Well, he just stays back on that ball that's in on his hands, pulls the right hand in. And the barrel of the bat just takes off. I mean, he just absolutely annihilated that one. And, Your Honor, I rest my case. Hits against a firm front side, and when he hits it, he can hit it hard.
2 for 2. A single and a double. Runs pretty well. And here is Kyle Farmer. Kyle Farmer, his first at bat of the day. Lays off. Slider down and away. 2 balls and no strikes.
Eighth-round pick out of University of Georgia in 2013.
Two balls, no strikes. Two and one. Now 3 and 1.
Boy, if he likes this one, there may be some dust going into the air.
Stetson Ali is on deck. And Farmer takes a walk, and the Dodgers have first and second. Nobody out in the 8th.
See, bats, quite frankly, you like to see from a younger player that even ahead in the count, not going to be swinging wildly.
So here's Ali stepping in. Here's a strike, 0-1. Three weeks and 2 days until opening day, the Padres at Dodger Stadium. And so the Dodgers, this is their 15th spring training game. 23 to go.
Talked about Ali last night in the ball game when he came in towards the end of it. Originally signed by the Pittsburgh Pirates organization. Then in 2012, he was moved from the mound to a position player.
No balls and 2 strikes.
Radar gun was a very good friend for Ali when he was on the mound. The command, not such a good friend.
Getting from point A to point B was a bit of an issue. One ball, 2 strikes. Well hit to left. Ali. 3-run shot.
Well, he might have wanted the radar gun on that one. Talk about leaving the yard rapidly. Well, he's built like a linebacker. Trying to come up and in on it. That's just a terrific swing on. To be very honest with you, a difficult pitch to handle.
Stetson Ali. I guess you have to tip your cap. You don't have to, but wouldn't be a bad idea. It's 8-2.
And evidently hotter than I thought.
This is Tim LeCastro hitting and fouling it off to the right.
So you're leaving tomorrow. Go back.
No, not a moment too soon, apparently.
Well,
but between last night, the young guys have performed very well for the Dodgers. LeCastro into routine left field. Finally, the first out of the inning.
And a lot of balls have been hit exceptionally hard today.
Darnell Sweeney the home run. Taylor had a double and a triple. Ali with an emphatic home run. So pretty good back-to-back days for the Dodgers, who scored 12 runs on 15 hits last night and currently 8 runs and 9 hits. And here is Jack Murphy's first at-bat of the day. And that one is well hit to right. Well, foul.
He jumped on that like a hungry wolf going after a pork chop.
Dodgers have no gripes today. The pitching was solid. Ryu was all they could have asked for. Sierra, a couple of innings, 2 hits and a strikeout. Josh Fields struggled, but everybody else was on top of their game. Murphy fouls it off to the left. Ali, a 3-run home run. Darnell Sweeney hit one. A lot to be pleased with. Dave Roberts and Turner Ward, hitting instructor. Well, the Angels still trying to get a toehold on where they're going. Last year, 14 under 500. Murphy, a chopper to second base. Second out of the 8th. Been a tough day for Justin Miller. There was a time not too many years back where somebody as heavily tattooed as Miller is would have to wear the sleeve shirt all the way down to the wrist. Well, the tattoos, I guess, becoming a little more mainstream. They can show off their ink. One ball and no strikes. It became an issue, what about 6, 7, 8 years ago? Much like pitchers were not allowed to wear jewelry or have weird colored baseball gloves as to interfere with the line of sight for the hitters. Toles lined to left in his only at-bat of the day. One ball, 2 strikes. Toles bangs a base hit into left.
I was remiss in talking about Andrew Toles. Last year, the Dodgers sat him down and said, look, here's how we look at players at the minor league levels. He goes ball up and away, and he goes away with it. Look, we don't hang our hats just on batting average. What about your batting average and balls put into play? How about the number of times you make a fly ball out versus hitting a line drive, using your speed, hitting the ball on the ground? How hard do you hit the ball? Everybody's talking about exit velocity. Well, we used to say, boy, you hit that ball hard. But there are numbers that you can base and hang your hat on in a lot of different areas. Well, Andrew Toles knew that he had last year the opportunity. And when he finally got the call up, I mean, he did everything the Dodgers could hope for and then wound up playing in postseason play.
The hitter now is Eric Mejia. We haven't seen him hit yet. We saw him make an outstanding defensive play at short. And he lost one to left. And that'll do it. Last licks for the Angels. We go to the 9th. Dodgers are in cruise control. They lead the Angels 8-2. That's Madison Youngener. Looking to clean up the small details. The Dodgers with an 8-2 lead. 3 runs in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, and 3 in the 8th. Youngener between AA and AAA last year, an ERA of a shade over 4. 3 earned runs in 4 1/3 innings so far this spring.
Originally signed by the Red Sox. Good size, 6'4", listed at 195.
Raymond Flores is leading it off for the Angels as we go to the 9th. Fastball strike, and it's 0-1. Dodgers 3 outs away from 8-7 this spring. Youngener quickly gets ahead, 0-2. Off to the left and out of play. So your overall assessment of what we saw today?
I think, first of all, Hyun-Jin Ryu, for me, is kind of the story of the day. Although a lot of balls were hit hard, the Dodgers with 4 home runs last night. They hit 3 this afternoon. But for Hyun-Jin Ryu to come on 2 innings, have the command of the strike zone, the fastball moved it inside and outside. The curveball was not just an ordinary curveball. I mean, it was like mid-season curveball. And here's a guy that's pitched 1 game in the last 2 years. I thought it was so amazing, the job they did. Granted, this is the first time out in a game in the big stadium. Always pitched in the backfields and simulated games and all that area. But I thought it was just a wonderful stepping stone for Ryu here this afternoon.
Now it's 2-2.
Guys hit the ball hard. Play good defense. Mejia made that 1 play up the middle. Guys are in the right place at the right time, backing up bases, cutoffs. Didn't really see too many relays that had to be coming in from the outfield. Trace Thompson was able to play, and that's so important. You get a base hit? No, that's not the story. Hit 1 ball really hard to left center field, struck out a couple of times, made a play in the outfield. He needs to get into the routine of everything and find out how he feels tonight after playing. And he was in there for 4 or 5 innings, and I think 6 today. And how he feels tomorrow. So it's a building block.
Youngener strikes out. Flores, that's the first out of the 9th.
But the pitching was right there as well. And Jansen, yeah, you got tagged for a run, a couple of hits. One of the hits was a broken bat base hit. Fields gave up a home run. Then we saw Avalon, Geltz, Sierra, Youngener.
Well, and Willie Calhoun, he can hit. 2 for 2. There's a breaking ball for a strike. 0-1 to Jeffrey Marte.
And keep in mind, too, with numbers of players. You have 25 in your opening day roster. Who's going to comprise the outfield? Who's going to be the position players? Who's going to be the backup players? Well, Chris Taylor was on base 3 times, had a double, an RBI triple. He scored a run. So he makes a strong statement.
Well, the battle for that utility spot very much alive. 1 ball, 1 strike. Marte takes a low and outside, 2-1. You mentioned in passing the young shortstop Eric Mejia. First time we've seen him, he made a beautiful play on a chopper over the mound, an off balance throw, getting the very fast Eric Young at first base. And there's Mejia throwing a strike. He's interesting.
Well, there's a few different ways you can look at a player, and a player will catch your attention in something that they do. And for him to come on the right field side of second base on that little chopper in the last inning, you can be taught a lot of things, but that's ability. That's a sense of the baseball. That's ability.
And a semi-routine play here in the 9th. He shows he's got quite an arm. But there's a fella named Seager. standing in front of him at
Oh, yeah.
shortstop, who is still sidelined. And Dave Roberts asked before the game, is there a timetable? He said, not yet. One ball, one strike, and 2 out in the ninth. Dodgers 8-2. This should do it. It is Mejia taking charge, and the Dodgers hang on and beat the Angels this afternoon 8-2. For the Dodgers, 8 runs, 10 hits, no errors. And for the Angels, 2 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. The Dodgers improved their record to 8-7, and the Angels dropped to 9-5 so far this spring. So that is a wrap for us here in Callowback Ranch, Glendale. Be with us again tomorrow, the White Sox and Dodgers. First pitch, 7 o'clock. Derek Holland will face Alex Wood. It's a split squad game tomorrow afternoon. Clayton Kershaw and Nathan Carnes, the Dodgers and the Royals. But tomorrow night, the White Sox are here, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow. For our entire crew, have a good night, everybody.